Honey, we need to... As soon as he heard those words, Corey tuned out. You know I love you. That phrase confirmed his fears. Plan A was in motion. Sorry, honey, I need to grab something from the car. But Corey, it's important. He ignored her. A few minutes later, he returned with a gift box and a card. What's this? You'll see, Melinda. Wait, I have to do something else. He went outside. She waited a minute until her curiosity got the better of her. The envelope was addressed to her, and he hadn't asked her to wait. She opened the envelope and saw a greeting card. Their anniversary was still a few weeks away. Why is he giving me this now? On the outside of the card was a sweet, romantic message. When she opened it, she found something else. A handwritten note from her husband. Please wear what's in the box on your date with Todd on Friday night, Corey. Melinda gasped. Oh no, he knows. She calmed herself down. She was going to tell him about Todd tonight anyway. It was supposed to be a take-it-or-leave-it proposition. The goal was to make Corey jealous and get him to pay more attention to her. She needed that. Corey had been working overtime for so long that it was clear to her how little he loved her. She opened the gift box and gasped. It was the emerald and diamond necklace she had fallen in love with months ago. He must have pawned something and then paid it off. Guilt washed over her like a slap in the face. My God, what have I done? She rushed to the door to see what was keeping Corey. His car was already pulling out of the driveway. Melinda immediately called Todd and told him that Friday night was canceled. She told him that her husband knew everything. So what? You were going to tell him anyway. Come on, Melinda, you know you want this. You've been teasing me for weeks. You owe me at least this much. You're a bastard. I can't believe I let you seduce me. I don't want to talk to you anymore. No problem, bitch. I'll find a prettier woman who'll fit through the door. I only agreed to sleep with you because you threw yourself at me. Just because you don't want to sleep with me now doesn't mean you're not a whore. Good luck with your husband. What should I do? Melinda sat on the couch, wondering what would happen to her marriage. At least he didn't say anything about divorce. He'll be back tonight, I'm sure of it. We've had 18 years of happy marriage and 2 children. He wouldn't throw all that away. She drank some wine and waited. Melinda was glad the children were asleep. The next morning, Melinda woke up on the couch, still clutching the box with the necklace in her hands. She decided that Corey had returned and didn't want to disturb him. She ran to the stairs, almost tripping in her haste. Corey! She called, peeking into the bedroom. The bed was unmade. No one had slept there on Sunday night. Her daughter came out of the bedroom. Mom, aren't those the clothes you wore yesterday? What happened? Barrett was her 14-year-old daughter. It was time to minimize the damage. Barry, I fell asleep on the couch. I just woke up. I guess I drank too much wine, that's why I fell asleep. I have to hurry and get ready for work. Is Dad downstairs? I need to tell him that the football game was postponed. The junior game was canceled, so the seniors will play earlier. I hope he makes it. It's my first time playing goalie. I'm a little nervous. Your father got a call last night. He had to leave town on urgent business. I'll tell him about the schedule change. You know how much he hates to miss your games. I'm sure he'll come if he can. Their son Brady came out of his room. He was in a sullen mood. Melinda said, Good morning, Brady. He didn't look up and muttered, Yeah, sure. He paused and added, Dad's gone, isn't he? Melinda gasped for a moment. He's on an urgent business trip. He'll be back soon. In response, she heard again, Yeah, sure. He sounded like he was about to cry, but instead he went downstairs. Melinda was a couple of minutes late for work. She looked around, afraid that someone knew what had happened. She told herself that her fears were unfounded. For now. Her secretary, Lynn, handed her several messages. Melinda quickly scanned them, hoping that at least one was from Corey. But she was out of luck. Instead, her secretary said, Listen, I don't know what's going on between you and this Todd guy, but I don't like him yelling at me when I tell him you're not here yet. Lynn, he's a jerk. You can hang up if he calls back. I'm sorry he treated you that way. She was afraid that his call meant that her secret had been revealed. Melinda couldn't concentrate on her work that day. Finally, she gave up and called Corey's office. Barbara, his secretary, with whom she had a good relationship, answered the phone. Hello, Melinda. How can I help you? I'd like to talk to my husband. Barbara didn't answer right away. I thought he was with you. He called and took the day off. I thought you must be tired after he gave you your anniversary present last night. He did give you a present, didn't he? Yes. How did you know he gave me something? Are you kidding? We were all wondering why Corey always volunteered to work overtime. Why did he need the extra money? He was very secretive. We even had a pool to guess the reason. The men said he was going to pay for his girlfriend's abortion. The women said he was going to pay off his gambling debts. We were so shocked when he came in one morning with a big smile on his face. First, he showed me the necklace. I cried because it was so beautiful. The other women in the office gathered around us. Melinda, I have to warn you. Several women have said they want to fight for Corey if you decide to get rid of him. I told them that no woman would ever get rid of a husband who gave her a gift like that. How did you react when you saw him? Melinda had to believe it quickly. I was shocked. Why did you call? Never mind. I just remembered where Corey is. Bye. Melinda had no idea where Corey was, but she was afraid of what he might do. She went to the computer and logged in to check their joint account. $1,000 had been withdrawn. Melinda calmed down a little. She was afraid he had taken half in preparation for the divorce, or the entire amount to burn the bitch. She had no way of checking what he had actually done. There were too many divorce lawyers to call each one. On the day Melinda was lost in her thoughts, she received a letter from Corey at her work address. Her heart pounded as she anxiously read the letter. Melinda, I almost crashed my car when I found out you were going to meet some guy named Todd. I already bought a card and a necklace. I decided to give you one chance. You could have told me that you realized your mistake and wouldn't go on a date with Todd, or that you decided to have an affair despite being married. As you know, you chose the second option. That's when my heart broke into a million pieces. Now you know that I worked overtime to earn money for the necklace you wanted so much. If I had known it would cost me my marriage, I would never have done it. I just didn't believe you would stop trusting me so quickly. It seems that even after almost 15 years of marriage, we don't know each other very well. I hoped you knew one thing about me. I am completely devoted to your happiness. That remains true despite what you just did. So I am letting you go to the man you have chosen, and I will not stand in the way of your happiness with him. I am leaving. You can file for divorce. I will not sign the papers, but I will not contest the divorce. In addition, you can keep the necklace. Not only can I not give it back, but I bought it when I still believed that we would be together for the rest of our lives. Please consider it the last token of my love for you. I have also written to the children about my departure. It is much harder for me to part with them than with you. The deciding factor that helped me leave was the realization that your new husband must become part of the family we created together. Visits to me will only delay the successful merging of the new family. I hope I have conveyed my eternal love to them and explained why I am doing what I believe is best for all of us. I apologize for any negative reaction this may cause them. Perhaps you can arrange therapy for them. I hope your new husband has enough money to replace my income. I only took $1,000 because I knew you would probably need time to adjust to the loss of my income. I have to go now. I sincerely hope that everything works out the way you planned. Corey. Melinda took the day off work and prepared herself for whatever reaction the children might have. Her stomach was in knots. Barrett and Brady got off the bus at the usual time. They were a little surprised to see their mother's car there. They decided it must have something to do with their father. "What's going on, Mom?" "Did you read Dad's letter?" "No, we were at school all day. What's wrong? Is something wrong with Dad? Does he have cancer?" No, it's not that. I thought you needed to read the letter and then we could talk." The children went to their rooms. Brady went to his sister's room to read the letter with her. A few minutes later, they came downstairs. Barrett looked angry, and Brady was crying. Melinda asked, "Do you have any questions?" Barrett asked, "When is your boyfriend moving?" "I don't have a boyfriend. I made a big mistake. No one is moving. I hope I can convince your father to come back. I have a lot to explain. It's my fault, not his." Brady shouted, "Stop it! It's my fault that Dad left." Melinda tried to comfort him. "Brady, it's not your fault. I know—" "No, I told him about you and Todd." "What? How did you find out?" "You know how I love tinkering with electronics. I figured out how to tap your phone. I recorded several conversations. Dad caught me and took the recordings. I thought he was listening to your conversations with Todd. I've never seen him so sad. He made me promise not to tell anyone. I'm so sorry." Brady sobbed. Melinda believed him. Now I know how he found out. Days passed. Weeks passed. 4 months later, there was finally some news. Corey's car had been found crashed and abandoned. His wallet was in the glove compartment, but all his money, documents, and credit cards were gone. Melinda now knew where the mysterious credit card charges had come from. Corey was nowhere to be found. The police assumed it was a robbery and carjacking. Most likely Corey was dead, but the location of his body was unknown. When a year had passed, Melinda filed for divorce, citing abandonment. She needed to do this in order to gain access to the rest of Corey's property, which she did not yet have. Filing for divorce was very painful for her. She had to take on a second job in addition to her main one. Barrett and Brady complained that they had to do extra work to make up for their father's absence. They never forgot to remind their mother of the consequences of her mistake. Melinda didn't date anyone. Men offered to help her, but it was usually clear that they wanted sex in return. She didn't need anyone until she found out what had happened to Corey. 3 years had passed since Corey disappeared, and there had been no news except for the wrecked car. They distributed flyers with information about the missing man in all the cities where his credit cards had been used, but to no avail. Christmas was approaching. Barrett and Brady were asked what they wanted for Christmas. Their wish was the same as their mother's, and the same as it had been the previous 2 years, for Corey to come home. One night the phone rang. An emergency doctor in Texas was treating a man with an old .22 caliber scar. This doctor was one of those people with a perfect memory. He remembered this detail from the missing person flyer. Someone had found an old copy and called Melinda. She asked where he was. When she was told he was at a local homeless shelter, she almost fainted. Melinda found out the number of the shelter and called the director. "Do you have a Corey Johnson there?" She was stunned when the director said no. Melinda described Corey, and the director said, "We have a man with amnesia whom we call Rustler. He worked for a local farmer who gave him that name. He swears he doesn't know his real name or where he's from. Please take a picture of him and send it to me. We've been looking for him for 3 years." The director agreed, and 15 minutes later, Melinda received a photo of a bearded, tanned, thin man. It took Melinda a while to see enough of a resemblance to say that it could be him. She showed the photo to Barry, who immediately said, "That's Dad." Brady agreed. Melinda arranged to go and pick him up. The director warned that the man might not want to come. Melinda decided to take her brother Corey with her. She needed someone who wouldn't drive faster than 90 miles per hour and whom Corey would recognize. During the trip, with her ex-brother-in-law at the wheel, she prayed. When she drove, he prayed for their safety. They arrived at the shelter after a 14-hour trip that took 11 hours. Melinda approached the director, and the man was called into her office. He showed no signs of recognizing Melinda or Rory, his brother. She approached him to hug him, and he said, "Hi, lady. I haven't had a woman in a long time, but I'm not going to get involved with you just because you believed I was your long-lost husband." "Corey, I know it's you. I recognized your voice. The long hair, beard, and thin body are different, but I know it's you. Don't you recognize your brother, Rory?" "You're joking. Corey and Rory? Who the hell names their sons that? Are you saying we're twins?" Rory interjected. "No, idiot. Our parents were too nice for their own good. Stop talking nonsense. It's time for you to go home." Melinda joined the conversation. "Your children have grown so much since you left. They never gave up hope that you would return. Here I took a photo of them before I left." The man saw a photo of two children holding a sign that read, "Welcome home, Dad." "Cute kids. They look like you." "They look like both of us, Corey." "Come on. Anyway, how did you end up here?" Melinda told him everything that had happened, including the failed meeting with Todd. She was honest and apologized. She told him that they were divorced. The man replied, "Let me see if I understand this correctly. You cheated on your husband. He's such a weakling that he didn't even shoot your lover. He just walked out, leaving you with 2 children and a lover to take care of. Then you divorced him. As I understand it, it's over. Why do you need me?" "I need you to be my husband. Your children need you as a father. We can get married again. I only divorced you for financial reasons. I never stopped loving you, even when I used Todd to make you jealous. I still love you. You have a life waiting for you to continue." Rory interjected, "Get your head out of your ass, brother, and do the right thing." "Go to hell, brother. I believe that Corey did the right thing, except for crippling his wife's lover. Anyway, what do I get if I come back to you?" Rory replied again, "As if you have better prospects here." Melinda pleaded, "Corey, come back and see what you have. A nice house, good food, 2 children, and a wife who loves you. How am I going to make a living? Maybe you can get your old job back, and in the meantime, I'll give you money to live on. Will you let me buy booze with that money?" "If you need to." "Okay, I'll try, but I can't promise anything." Rory interrupted her. "Melinda, I'm not sure you should do this." "What? I didn't come all this way just to have him leave again. Once we get him home, he'll change. I know it." "Don't say I didn't warn you." They drove back. Soon they regretted not making him wash up before the trip. Melinda stopped at the first Walmart to buy new clothes, then stopped at a gas station so they could take showers. The trip was much calmer, although the man refused to shave his face, which was now clean. The man grew tired of the questions. "Doesn't this look familiar? Don't you remember being there? Do you know what this is?" Soon, he simply stopped answering questions. As soon as the car door opened, 2 children ran up to the man and hugged him. He barely responded to their embrace, but that didn't dampen their enthusiasm. They sat him down at the kitchen table and begged him to tell his story. He asked for coffee. "My life, as I know it, began on a stretch of road where I was wandering. I had a bump and a wound on my head. Half of my face was covered in dried blood. Someone drove by and called someone on the phone. After a while, a deputy sheriff picked me up and took me to the emergency room. I couldn't remember anything, and I didn't have my wallet with me. The police checked my fingerprints but couldn't find a match in their database. There were no reports of a missing person matching my description. The sheriff decided that I had been robbed and beaten up. He suggested that I stay there until they found me. When I asked where I could live and how I could earn a living, he advised me to go to the XXX Ranch. They were always hiring workers and provided room and board as part of the pay, which was enough to get drunk every Friday. So I became a ranch hand. I wasn't a very good worker, but I worked hard. I worked there for over 2 years. One day I was repairing barbed wire, and it broke off one of the posts and quickly wound itself around me, trapping me in the middle of the coil. The ranch manager took me to the emergency room and gave me my last paycheck. I was fired. The emergency room doctor asked me about a bullet wound in my shoulder. I told him I didn't know where it came from. Then I told him I had amnesia. I was sent to a homeless shelter. Before I knew what to do, the shelter director sent out my photo. Later, she told me that a woman had called her and said she was my wife and was coming to get me. I was hoping for a young, rich trophy wife, but your mother isn't so bad looking, although she's not my type. She arrived with a man who said he was my brother. They gave me your photo. I wanted to get to know you better, but I couldn't remember anything. You look like wonderful children. I just don't know if I'm your father or not. I'll stay here for a while to see if I can remember anything. You're our father, and we're not letting you go. This time the hug was mutual. Melinda wiped her eyes and said, "Let's take your things upstairs." They went upstairs, and she showed him the master bedroom. "I think it's too soon to believe that you'll be sleeping here with me. Let's put your things in the guest bedroom." "Lady, I haven't had sex in a long time. You're good enough to make me want you. But if we have sex now, it will just be sex, not love. If you don't mind, then I don't mind. Maybe in a few days. I want to make love to my husband, not a homeless stranger." A few days later, Melinda had to go back to work. She didn't want to leave the man alone. She tried to convince him to shave his beard and go back to his old job. But the man wasn't ready for that yet. As soon as Melinda and the children left, the man sighed with relief. Corey sighed with relief. The man spoke to Corey. "Everything is going according to plan. Almost everything we hoped for while wandering around after our car was stolen and we were robbed has come true. I don't know about you, but I'm still angry that the carjacker took $1,000 from us. But there's nothing we can do about it now. I can't believe how hard it was to find us. We did almost everything except call home and say, 'Come get us.' We went to doctors several times. We talked to law enforcement several times. It was almost a year after we decided it was time to go home before someone finally found us. Now we can finish avenging Melinda. I'm sure you've noticed how much the kids have grown. I can't wait to be a part of their lives again." The man was taught everything his father did around the house. He attended school events in his father's place. Now his name was Corey. He shaved off his beard and was shown his old office. He was offered a job, but not the one he had before. He accepted. Melinda was happy with how things were turning out. One evening, she walked into Corey's room. "I'm ready for you to please me. We can leave the foreplay for later." She was surprised that he responded with an offer to make love. It was déjà vu. Life was coming full circle. It was time to believe in remarriage. And then it happened. One evening, after the children had gone to bed, Corey sat down next to Melinda. "Melinda, we need to talk." Her heart sank. She remembered well what had happened when she had said those words to him almost 4 years ago. "It's been wonderful being part of this family for the past few months. The kids are great, and you're a wonderful mother and lover. I don't want to destroy the magic that surrounds us. I couldn't help falling in love with the woman I work with. We've talked several times, had dinner together, and now we want to plan a weekend away. We haven't slept together yet, but we plan to do so this weekend. I understand that this will change our relationship, but I hope you'll let us remain friends and that I can continue to see the children." Melinda buried her face in her hands and cried uncontrollably. "Why, God, why are you punishing me so much for one mistake? Can't you forgive me? Do I have to suffer forever for my mistake?" She continued to cry and sob for over half an hour. Corey didn't try to comfort her. He just let her cry. When she calmed down, Corey spoke. "Melinda, I don't consider myself God, but I finally realized that I've punished you enough. If you can forgive me for my last act of revenge tonight, I would like to be your husband and the father of our children again." "What? Are you saying that all of this was just a damn charade? You bastard, you jerk. You're a pathetic piece of trash. You're a pile of shit. You made me feel like..." Like I felt when you announced your affair? This statement shook her. Did I really make you feel that bad? Yes. How can I be sure you really mean it and aren't going to punish me even more? I thought you might ask that. I have an early Christmas present for you. He pulled a package from under the tree. Is this gift supposed to make me come back? I hope so. She opened the box. It was an emerald necklace with diamonds that she had pawned to make ends meet after Corey disappeared. Melinda began to cry. Melinda, is this enough for you to forgive me? Maybe if it comes with matching earrings and lots of sex with makeup.